Hello and welcome to the channel. And for today's video is going to be a quick one. I'm gonna show you the little mods that I do on the female figures um, that I mentioned in the last video that I uploaded, which was for the Jean Grey X-Men 97 from Marvel Legends, where I mentioned that I cut off some parts of the plastic from the joints in order to give them better posability. So I'm using this figure, the Masterverse, what is it called? Snake Princess Sorceress. Yeah, Sorceress Tila. But obviously she's transformed into like the Snake Princess and whatnot. Anyway, it doesn't matter. What I'm going to show you is exactly how I do those cuts on the joints to get the hyperextended, hyperextended limbs. I don't particularly do them too much on the elbows because most figures already have like pretty straight on arms and don't really require that much um, alteration. Although she does have like it is like on a slight curve, but it's not to the point where it's like something like this, right? So this is still doable. But for like what I did on the Jean Grey figure, hers was basically almost like this. So I did need to modify the elbow to get a straighter arm. The legs, however, particularly like I said, for Masterverse figures, this is where I started doing this modification. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this is, I've already modified this leg or this knee, and this one is untouched. So we're gonna work on this, but I want to show you the difference from one to the other. Okay, so this is the normal leg of the figure, and you can see how the leg has like a curve to it, sloping downwards and or almost straight. Let me put straighten out the leg. Right now, I've got this business card here handy, and I'm gonna show you the kind of gap that you're gonna get, right? And we're gonna see the difference from one to the other. So if I hold it as flat as I can at about this angle right here, you can see the large gap left in the shin area, right? Now on the modified, you can see now how the shape of the leg has a more of an S, like an elongated S, right? And it's a little more curvy. And when I do the straightness test, you could see the gap between the shin and the card is smaller than what we had originally. So I'm trying to get the better angle here so you can clearly see. Right, so this is basically touching from thigh to ankle, and this one there's still plenty of room from thigh to ankle, right? So this is what we want, this curve here. I should put it this way, right? So I have this X-Acto knife with this chisel end, right? And this is what I use to carve out the knee. Now I don't, you don't need to take off a lot, right? I answered one of the comments in the Jean Grey video where I said, you know, with particular, well, it depends on the scale of the figure. Obviously, Masterverse figures are 7-inch again versus Marvel Legends that are 6-inch. So I said, you know, for smaller figures, you know, something like the thickness of a business card should be enough material that you would need to remove to get started, right? It's easier to take off more later than to, you know, if you take too much out, you're gonna ruin the figure. So you don't need to take much off at the beginning. And what I did is I try to align. You can see the two lines of plastic from the mold of the lower leg. So I try to align that with the edge of of the um, the kneecap, just so I can get an idea of trying to cut straight. I've never done this on camera, so if something is off, sorry. But then you can see that I'm gonna cut then just slightly above the that edge and that line that I have for the mold lines as a guide. So I'm gonna take off about a millimeter, maybe less. Hopefully you can tell. Okay. And just dig into it. You can probably warm up the plastic. You can warm up the plastic. The cut went a little sideways, so I'm gonna cut it on this side. Again, I've never done this on camera, so something's maybe off at first. Okay. Try not to cut, obviously, don't try and cut all the way through, right? Just, you know, once you start feeling resistance, that's when you know you reach the bottom. And then from the bottom, you just cut into the portion that we already cut off. Try and get it as flat as possible. And this is all that I need removed so far. Now you can try and you can see here, hopefully the camera focuses. You can try and get a smoother edge for the corners of the knee, because since we're cutting into the larger size, the wider portion of the, I mean, obviously you can see that the shape of the knee is like a diamond. So the more you cut off at the edges, the edge of the knee is gonna get wider. So this part, these points of the knee on the shin were obviously molded to fit the smaller size end of the kneecap. So what you need to do is then just cut off bits of corners, right? So that the end of the kneecap will fit on the pre-molded sizing of the shin. Now, already you can see a big difference in terms of the shape of the leg. We're already touching. We're already touching the ankle. So you can leave it like that, or you can go ahead and cut off a portion of the top of the knee into the thigh. I believe I did yeah, I did. So I may have cut off a little too much on this side of the kneecap than I did on this, but it's still um, fine to do it, even if you already landed at your if you got your desired. Yeah, this is one of the free promotion for the Elemental Studio here in TJ. That's where I get some paint supplies locally here. So like as I was saying, you can still exaggerate the hyperextension of the limbs on female figures, because it's just a little more accurate to comic books. We tend to exaggerate in comics, so that's what makes comics cool. That we're trying to. It's all a fictional world. It's not, the real world. So we use comics to escape the real world. So let's try and make our characters more exaggerated. Okay, so this is the other piece of plastic that I just removed from the top of the kneecap. And again, you can use sandpaper and then smooth this out so that it looks more like the factory mold. And just trim off a bit of the edge of the side of the kneecap. And now we have a more shapely female leg. And then we compare it with the other one. It looks like they both appear to be aligned perfectly. The next step would be, I haven't done it yet, but it would be to trim off then here on the back, on her back side. I would probably, using my Dremel, with the Dremel tool, I would cut off just a portion of the butt cheek, make the curve at the bottom a little deeper, so that we can get more leg action going backwards. Because as it is right now, we don't get almost hardly any possibility going with the leg going backwards. So by trimming this side right here, we can get the leg to move back and then have some of those hyperextended poses that I keep mentioning. This is a great figure, by the way. Excellent paint. The overall shape of the body is also amazing. They finally gave Tila a nice booty. And overall, I would say it's an excellent figure. So there you go. That's how I do that. The kneecap mod, which again, you can do it on the elbows if you want to. And then once you trim, if you want to keep it smooth, use sandpaper, sand it down smooth, and we're good to go. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next one.